What's up, Pirates? Ray Talks here with Awaken TCG, and today we have the Birdcage Dofi list. I really wanted this list not to be the best for green purple Dofi, but I think it is. I tried a lot of Don Quixote pirate lists. I tried a bunch of old film lists from OP04, and nothing was working as good as this. One thing I will note is while this deck is still fun and has actually a pretty good matchup into Sakazuki, it feels really bad into Purple Luffy and into Anel. It's pretty rough. So while you do have that slightly better advantage into Sakazuki, which is the best deck, it kind of falters to a lot of other things, as you guys are gonna see in my locals. So I went with four Ezos, not only for the rest, but it's a 2K. We have two 2Ks here, which are searchable. We have four sugars to play off our birdcage, right? Our birdcage is what makes this deck run. So if you have Don Quixote, Doflamingo as your leader, anything that's rested with 5 costs or less will not refresh at your restand phase. And that includes your own characters. And we'll get into more detail right now. We have 3 a 10 cost Doflamingo, just an amazing card. There's always situations for you to play this, and especially if your opponent is not aware of what you're trying to do, this can come in clutch and win you some games. Next up, we have Baby 5, just another 2K searchable off Don Quixote Pirates, as we run Baby 5, which is our Don Quixote Pirate Searcher. We have 4 of the Rosinante blockers, which are really good. I really enjoy these, especially when you're versing a Sakazuki and they Lucci. You can always play this and save one of your units. Pika, just something I threw in because not only does it also have that save KO effect, it can restand. It can restand, which plays off Birdcage, right? You swing with your Pika, that's fine. It's not going to stay rested. You get to restand at the end of your turn, and you have, your unit to still use. Baby 5 are searchers. Queen, I love this card. Amazing card. You cycle 2 cards, you draw 1, and it Don minuses. So if you never want to, if it's too early and you don't want the Birdcage to to pop yet, Don -1 on your 10 Don turn, you're fine. Douglas Bullet helps you steal games. It's hard to play it in a deck like this, as you fall pretty far behind earlier on because on your 5 Don turn you're forced to play Birdcage, which is only my only gripe with this deck, right? It's my only thing about this deck that I personally don't enjoy is having to waste a whole turn on this. If your opponent plays around this, then it's kind of it sets you behind at the end of the day. So Douglas Bullet, a card that's kind of hard to play, but it can steal you some games. Captain Kidd, I'm not the biggest fan of this card, but I think it's needed in this deck. Just you play Birdcage and then you play this. You don't have to worry about anything that you're starting to swing with to get rested, right? Punt Gibson allows you to rest anything 4 or less, right? If you have Birdcage, whatever they have, blockers, anything 4 or less gets rested, and now Birdcage is being used. Spiderweb, if you have something of yours you want to swing with that'll get rested, let's say the Queen. Let's say something like, I guess in this list that I have, it's only the Queen of yours that really gets rested. But let's say you swing with your Queen. It doesn't matter on your opponent's turn. If they swing at you, you can Spiderweb, restand it. Now Birdcage is not affected. The Queen because it's going to restand on your opponent's turn. And then obviously we have Blast Breath. It's a 1-drop. If you Pika, you can restand 2 at the end of your turn. You can use one of those 2 on Pika to restand Pika, and then you still have 1 Don for Blast Breath, which also allows you to play around Birdcage if you don't want to pop it early. Stay under that threshold. If you're like at 8 Don and you're going to 10 next turn, you can go to 7 Don with the Blast Breath. Make sure you don't hit that 10. Things like that. So just another Don minus effect that it can keep you under the threshold if needed. Obviously, you can't do it at 9 or 10 Don. You're going to go to 10 Don the next turn. So, but yeah, this is the list I was running. It's not my favorite list. I don't appreciate how this list does into the whole meta. So that's why I honestly haven't been playing much Dofi, unfortunately. I know I won my regional with him, but just the deck is so different. It's a completely different deck with a completely different playstyle that just doesn't match me. So that is my excuse basically on why I haven't been playing it as much, and it's just not as good as I would like it to be. First and foremost, when it comes to playing the game, I'm competitive, right? My content comes first, but then afterwards, I'm a competitive player. So that's why I'm on NL. Hopefully I can get that guide out soon. Maybe not Sunday. Maybe Monday or Tuesday. Monday or Tuesday. This is Saturday. You guys are watching this video. January 20th. Monday or Tuesday. We'll see. I should have some time to finish it up. But that is going to be it for this deck list here. I hope you guys enjoyed this portion. Let's go ahead and get right into some gameplay. All right, Pirates. This is going to be game one. So we have Queen is our first opponent. That is going to be an interesting matchup. I didn't expect to go to locals on BIRDCAGE Dofi and play a Queen on my first round. So definitely unexpected. Definitely not fully aware of how the matchup would go. But first turn I pass. His first turn he passes. Then I swing 6K and he gets a Brulee trigger. Of course, it's Queen. They have so many blocker triggers that just pop up out of nowhere. And then my opponent's next turn, he swings for 6 and he plays a Doflamingo to set up his top cards. That way he can be more efficient. And so now I'm at 5 Dawn. I swing 5. He blocks out. And then I just play BIRDCAGE. Not much else to do here. I could have played a unit, but I figured that, you know, I have a Punt Gibson. I can rest this blocker, make it useless, and I can start swinging at him next turn, be a little more aggro. And then he pops in, or he plays an X-Drake, so I'm thinking, okay, that's another target for my BIRDCAGE. He can only block once or swing once, and then it's over. So then I sugar the Doflamingo blocker here. Now it's infinitely rested because of my BIRDCAGE, so I'm going to go ahead and swing 5 at life, hoping he was going to X-Drake. Obviously, he's not going to take the bait, so I go ahead and play a Queen. And now it's not looking too bad. I know Queen likes to get to those high Dawn situations, those late game turns, and that's where, you know, Queen really thrives. So I tried my best to not let that happen, but, you know, you guys are going to see quickly how this goes, and you know, it takes a turn for the worst, especially when you don't see the cards that you need on time and on curve. You know, I saw my BIRDCAGE on curve, but did not see the 7-drop kid that I could have played. So I swing 8 at life, and then of course he gets a 3000 worlds, gets rid of my sugar that was going to put in so much work for me. So I play a Diamante and I pass. So at this point, the John Giant is honestly pretty bad for me. The Diamante I play gets returned to hand with Sables, a 4-drop event that is not honestly ran too much. It's probably like a Queen specific card. I don't see it ran too often in other top blue decks. And then he red rocks my Queen, leaving me with no board. So at this point, it's looking really rough for me. At least the X-Drake and the Doflamingo blocker are permanently rested. So it's my 10 Dawn turn. Of course, I'm going to swing 5. He gives me a 2K, and then I freeze the John Giant. I freeze the leader, and then my BIRDCAGE pops and gets rid of his board. And so at this point, I'm thinking I'm in a good spot. Unfortunately, the Queen had the exact cards to counter me, so, you know, all I needed was one turn to be able to go aggro and then not lose. But the issue here is I'm at 1 life, so I need to play a blocker. I need to you know, put something up, or he's just gonna KO me next turn. So this is me searching for, I think I'm searching for either another 10-drop that I can play on him like the following turn, or a blocker or something. Unfortunately, my best option was a very bad option. So you guys are gonna see here, I grabbed the stage. I grab another stage, right? I'm like, well, this is my only option I can grab is this stage. I have a Queen in hand, so this is what I'm going to play. I'm going to play the Queen and trash the stage. And my reasoning for grabbing the stage there was, okay, I'm going to swing 5. If he blocks with X-Drake, I can play stage, and now it's going to be rested forever. But obviously that did not happen. I go 12 at the John Giant. He blocks out, play Queen, draw 2, trash the stage, and that is going to be my turn. Still looking really bad, because I'll tell you why. The John Giant is still on the board. He doesn't have to commit any Dawn. to play a big body, he can just swing and already heal, right? He just has to go down to four, four or less cards plus life. So he's going to swing at, I think he's swinging at my Doflamingo. Or is he swinging at life here? I'm not too sure. But regardless, okay, so he's swinging at life. So I'm going to block out for, wow, that was a lot. I blocked out for a lot. Well, how much did I give him? 9, 10, 11? I don't think I had, I gave him 12. I gave him 12. Because he swung for 11. Maybe I could have just blocked it with the queen, but from my point of view, I wanted to keep the queen up to go for game next turn. Because he has 2 cards in hand, but that didn't happen, and then he had the red rock. So I mean, the script just flipped, and from here on out, it's literally a stall fest from me, trying to get blockers so I don't die because I am at 0 life, and 2, be aggressive enough to be able to get a turn where I can just KO him, right? So, yeah, that's basically how the rest of this game is gonna go. It's not that interesting. This one game here is definitely not that interesting. From here on out, I'm gonna, as you can see, I have 2 baby 5 searchers. It's gonna be me searching, playing blockers and surviving by 1 turn, and my opponent going big body heal, big body heal. But yeah, this deck, on first impression, it's decent. It's definitely a decent deck. I just don't like the play style, or I don't really appreciate how bad it is into the meta as a whole. Against Sakazuki, yes, you can win, but then there's other lists that are, top tier decks that just destroy it. You can squeeze in some wins here and there, with the 10 cost Dofi, the Douglas Bullet, but if you're not drawing perfect, it's going to be really rough. I want to say, I want to go as far to even say that Rosinante is has a better time into OP05 than any version of Doflamingo, which breaks my heart to say because obviously this is one of my favorite leaders. But it's still fun to play around, and I think it's an okay locals deck to take to locals, have fun. Just if you're not playing in a tournament. If you're playing in a tournament, I think there's better options, and there's even better options. Like would I ever take Rosinante? Probably not, but is that a better option? Potentially. Would I take? I mean, there's just not a substitute for the tier 1 decks. There's no substitute for Enel. There's no substitute for Sakazuki, Purple Luffy, Katakuri. Like, there's no substitute when it comes to competing. So, but these are my honest thoughts. I know you guys have been wanting this video for so long, and now I'm not even commentating the match because, like I said, it's just a bunch of boring stuff. I'm stalling. I'm stalling 1 blocker at a time, and then he's just going Yamato KO this, swing heal, Yamato KO this, swing heal, Mihawk kill this, swing. So I'm just gonna go ahead and give some of my thoughts on the deck. But I really wish that it got better support going into OP05. It got this whole Don Quixote Pirates archetype that really didn't give us much. It got us 8 cost Rosinante, which, wait, no, there's that 04. I think that might be 04. Let me look that up real quick mid video, cause I'm tripping. I know we got the Don Quixote Pirates package for 05. That is true. Okay, so yeah, no, we didn't get the Don Quixote Rosinante. We got that in OP04. All we got is a BIRDCAGE, a couple of events, and our baby 5 searcher. That's what we got this set. Obviously the Don Quixote Rosinante blocker 2-drop. So honestly, it got nothing good for any of the OP04 lists, right? We needed some different, but I guess that's the archetype that we got, the support we got, because it came out with Rosinante as the leader. But nothing good enough to warrant
for us to play this deck. It's just not as good as I hoped. It's not as good as I thought, but it's still a fun deck. At the end of the day, it's a fun deck. And will I play it again in the future? Yeah, I'm gonna play it in OP06, give it another try with some new cards. Um, am I gonna main it? Probably not until it becomes tier one again. I'm one of those type of players where I want to win just as much as have fun. So if I'm playing in a tournament, you're gonna see me on a top three deck for the most part. Uh, I think the only time that didn't happen was in OP04 when I was playing Doflamingo. Um, although it wasn't a tier one deck, it was like a very top tier, uh, tier two deck, which I will consider. That I always will consider. It's like red purple Luffy. Red purple Luffy I would consider tier two, but he's a very strong tier two deck, one of the best tier two decks in my opinion, and he is definitely a front runner to take a tournament. Right, you see the right matchups, you squeeze by. It's definitely the capabilities are there. So that's what I would compare green purple Dofi to in OP04 to this set is probably like a red purple Luffy. But yeah, as you can see, I'm hanging on. I'm hanging on slowly but surely. But at this point, if you see his board, yeah, it gets really bad. I'm gonna save you guys the heartache. I lost terribly. I didn't expect him to continuously have these big buddies when he has two cards in hand. Then he plays one. Then he has one card in hand. Then he just draws one. And then I swing at his life, and he has a red rock and just crushes my dreams. Obviously, he was putting everything on top of his life. He knew what he was putting, so it doesn't surprise me that he had those triggers.
So yeah, I mean, this match was really rough for me, especially with him seeing all his big bodies. At that point, I was just like, oh yeah, this game's over. I tried my best to stall out, but there was just nothing I could do. I'm gonna go ahead and speed up the rest of this match because it took way too. I think it took us like 35 minutes to finish this match, just because of how stally um, he was being. I'm over here trying to end the game, and obviously Queen playing how Queen plays. Play big body, heal, pass. Play big body, heal, pass. And so I think he gets one more big body on the board before he even starts swinging yet. So there's a Katakuri just to really lock me out of any chance I had at winning. I think there was only one opportunity for me to actually make the comeback, but he actually had the answer. So I would have been close, but so at this point I'm like, okay, well I need a Douglas bullet, and I need to go for a double attack and go for game with these two queens. Let me just survive this turn. So at this point, I had already amassed so many cards in hand, like 15, 16 cards. So something crazy like that. But he has so many swings, and I have one life that he put the kid there. So in my eyes, I'm like, okay, well, I can take one hit, and then I can just block everything else out, and then I'll have a double attack. I'll have two queen attacks. I'll have my leader attack with Tendon available. I'm like, it's doable. It's doable. But I failed to realize that I didn't have as much counter in my hand as I expected. So I think I have to force one of the queens to block for me, which inevitably would have honestly not even won me the match because I'm gonna spoil it. He had two beiges in his life. By the end of this, he had two beiges. So as soon as I swing Douglas Bullet double attack or swing something, I think, or it might have been three beiges. I'm not sure, but as soon as I would have swung once, it would have been GG's. I wouldn't have ever had a chance of winning this match. But yeah, I'm just gonna fast forward it. He keeps swinging at me, and I keep blocking using all my hand that I amassed over the last 5 turns for nothing because he just had way too many big bodies. And then let's go ahead and see. Yeah, he's gonna go swing 6 at me. I'm over here, trying to keep this queen alive. I'm like, okay, well, I can still win if I get 5 hits off. But then I'm like, well, actually, you know what? Let me stall out another turn and put a 10 cost Dofi on board. Hopefully, he doesn't have the answer, and obviously he did. All right, so now this is going to be game 2. We have Rebecca versus Gerpel Dofi, but BIRDCAGE. Anyways, Rebecca on turn 1 goes stage, so pretty good, honestly. And then my turn 1, I go ahead and play my Searcher. Unfortunately, he had an answer to it. He is able to play a Kyros and go ahead and swing Yeah, he's gonna play Kyros and go ahead and swing at my baby 5, but you know it is what it is. Now at 4 Dawn, I'm gonna swing 5 at his life. He's gonna take, and he gets a trigger. He gets a King Kong gun trigger, so he's gonna draw 3 trash 2. And now it is my turn here. I'm gonna go Pika. Nothing crazy, just go Pika for 4. Now Rebecca is on 5 Dawn. Let's go ahead and see what happens. They're gonna go ahead and play a Sabo for 5. So very interesting there. Usually you want to see some setup like an Orlumbus. Obviously I don't know what list he's running. Swing 5. I'm gonna go ahead and take that as well. And now it is my 6 Dawn turn. A couple of options I can do here. I'm gonna go 6 at his leader. He's gonna take. So at this point, I'm thinking, okay, this is perfect. Like he's really low on life already. Still super early on, and then he gives me 2 1Ks. He did not have a 2K in hand, so I'm like, okay, at this point, you know, I'm just being favored. He just doesn't have 2Ks. Now it's my opponent's next turn after I play the Diamante and pass. And the reason I didn't restand the Pika is because I can use the Diamante in order to save it. And I just rest the Diamante and I get a free save, right? So keep my 2 Dawn up for an event just in case. He plays a Bardo blocker for 3 Dawn. And then he is going to swing 7 at my life, and I'm going to take. And so that is definitely the right option. You don't want to swing at the Pika there. It's just a free save. Pass his turn, does not swing with the Sabo. He definitely could have swung with the Sabo in my opinion, just because he has the Bardo up. He could have used that to block, and I'm never swinging at the Kyros. For him, maybe he just needed to pressure me a bit more. All right, so now I'm at 8 Dawn here. I sugar the Bardo, and I'm going to go ahead and just swing 5. And in this position, I'm baiting the Sabo, right? I'm like, okay, block with the Sabo for free if you want, because I'm just going to swing at the Sabo with all of my units. And so he definitely did the right option there, just letting the Bardo die. I'm going 7 at his life, which is 2 cards out of hand if you were to block. Does not. I go baby 5 search. I go ahead and grab a 10 cost Dofi, and then I attach 1 to Pika here. I go another 7, and so at this point he's definitely gonna have to block out. Gives me a 2 and a 1. This is one of our newer players in our locals, so he plays really well, but definitely you can tell where there's some small things that he can definitely change to get better. So like in that instance, I told him, oh, you can Sabo, block with it, and then play the 2K event. I have no more swings. Like you were fine blocking with the Sabo there. You didn't have to give me 2 cards. So yeah, that's why sometimes I'm flipping cards over, having him read them, but definitely still played really well. And then I think that is going to be my turn again. Actually, do I lift the Pika there? No, I don't. Just because I can save it for free. He's going to go ahead and play a Cavendish. He's just wondering how the effect works, because with Dawn X1 he can attack active characters, and then obviously he pops a unit when he does attack, which is separate from the Dawn X1. So we're figuring that out. He swings at 1 baby 5 and he KOs 1. So I'm definitely going to block here. And I think I have to give him a 1K because he's swinging 6. Yeah, so block and give him a 1K just to save my searcher. Not sure if that was the best option, but it was definitely okay. It was not too bad. And then he's swinging at my Diamante, I think there.
and then he swings 5 at lead. I give him a 2K, and yeah, at this point, I had already searched out the 10 cost, and that's just gonna secure me the win. So I'm swinging as light as I can here, going 5, 6K, 6K, and I'm just playing the 10 drop. Freeze his whole board, and that should be game. So I end up using Pika effect here, I think. Yeah. No. I guess I don't. Anyways, the option was there to use the Pika effect, but I don't think it mattered too much. GG's definitely took it there. He had nothing left. He had a Luffy in hand, but it was too late. He needed to establish it earlier on the board. And let's go ahead and go to game 3. So let's go ahead and get right into game 3. It is against Sakazuki. At this point, I'm 1-1. My turn 1, I go baby 5. His turn 1, he just passes. Turn 2, I search. And here I was hoping to grab a 2-drop blocker because what I like to do is put the 2-drop blocker up just because it allows me to, save the baby 5 if it gets swung at, right? Instantly gets me another search, but fortunately it's not the card we got. I swing 5, he counters out, and then I go ahead and just play another baby 5 searcher. Definitely didn't want to play another baby 5 searcher, but it was the only play I had. Maybe I could have just swung 7 at him, but it definitely comes back to bite me as he just, I think he cycles, and then he plays a Lucci. So he swings 5. I'm going to go ahead and take that. Yep, first life, no harm, no foul. Yeah, he plays Lucci, clears my searchers, and that's feeling really bad off the start. Definitely wanted to play something else, like I said, but I didn't have any other options. I had already swung as well. And then I play Birdcage on 5, which is probably what you want to do. I'm explaining to him what the event does. I don't think he's ever seen the event. That's where the surprise factor comes in. But I think it's, although the deck is good, I just having to use a whole turn in the mid game to just play one stage that may or may not even be used currently feels bad. It just feels bad. Like, you have the options to assert, to like rest and do a bunch of this other stuff, but it's like, it just hurts. So there, I had a good start. He swung at me, I blocked, and then I was able to rest his Kuzan, so they're both locked up now. And then he goes 7K at my lead. I'm going to go ahead and take that. I do not want to pitch 2 cards. And I think I was still looking for other cards, right? Let's see what I do here. So, baby 5 search again. I'm looking for something. I just got a 2K. Yeah, I think I'm low key kind of break this match, but I go 6 at lead. He blocks. I play. Is that a Pika? Yeah, I play a Pika for 4, and then I go ahead and pass. He goes 2 for brand new. Yeah, this deck is really fun to play. But what I will say is this archetype for me doesn't fit my playstyle, I don't think. And so I definitely preferred playing the film package or the Don Quixote pirate package that I tried out. But those decks don't do as good as Birdcage. But at the end of the day, I'm going to still say Birdcage is a meme deck. I wish it was a lot better. He's able to clear my board again with Rob Lucci. Seeing 2 of his Rob Lucci's very early on, putting me at basically no board, which hurts. I'm able to sugar the other Lucci again, keep it frozen, which, I mean, is not bad, but it's just, I don't have no units on board to pressure, and so he kind of just has free reign right now. I swing 8 at lead, and he takes, and then I go 4 for another Pika, and pass turn. Now he is at 10 Dawn, and in Sakazuki fashion, he makes Birdcage useless because the 2 Lucci's already popped 4 targets, and he 10 Kuzans me, as you guys are going to see here very soon. So yeah, he's in swing 5. -1 on the sugar, like it matters. And then yeah, he's gonna just play Tenkuzan. Very rough for me. And at this point, I'm like, yeah, this is game over. He ended up killing my sugar, but I don't think it mattered what he killed. It's just GG's. It's not looking good. He has a board that obviously is going to get popped right now, but that Tenkuzan with me being at 1 life puts me in a really bad position. If I don't have a blocker, I'm just going to lose the match. So, yeah, that's the power of Sakazuki, right? It's like even if I have Birdcage and I'm properly playing it, it's like I had 3 Birdcages. I run 3. I had all 3 in my hand. If I break a little bit, and obviously he saw his Lucci's, it's just it's literally impossible to win. With a little bit of good luck for him and a little bit of bad luck for me, it turns into unwinnable, which is not what you really want to hear on how a deck matchup goes. But that is definitely going to be game cleared this board, but it's not looking too hot. Regardless, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this local series. I wish I had made the deck list in person. Unfortunately, I was borrowing some cards, so I had to give them back that same day. I wasn't able to record the deck list portion with the actual cards. So I gave you guys, a little bit of sim gameplay or sim deck list there. But next week we're gonna have, a lot more better options, some really fun decks. Forgotten Leaders is coming up. We have a Jeopardy video coming out very soon. Stay tuned for that. It's gonna be a big one. A lot of good collabs. We're gonna turn it into a series as well. So stay tuned for that. But yeah, as we're nearing the end of this game here, I just want to thank you guys. Make sure to subscribe to our channel. We're about to hit 4K subs, and let's try to hit it before the end of this month. That'd be amazing. We're still dropping every single day. If you guys can't rely on your leader to win games, you can rely on us to upload every day. So make sure, if you're not already, go ahead and subscribe to our channel. Yeah, he's getting ready for. There's a third Lucci. So he's gonna pop. Both my characters. I forgot the Pika effect only works for character cost 3 or higher, so he got destroyed there. And yeah, he played it safe for an extra turn, but it didn't matter for me. I have no rush, no rush. So that is going to be game. And yeah, GG's. I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.